Hello, it is Wednesday. That means it's 11:45. That means this is Dr. Devin Atkinson for Dr. Devin's Wellness Wednesday Workshop. Did you ever wonder what it would feel like if you lost weight? Well, for every 1 pound of weight you lose, it takes about 4 pounds of what it feels like off of your knees and lower back. So losing weight is one of the best things you can do for your spine, other than coming to the chiropractor. So people often ask me how I lost weight. If you have ever seen this photograph of me, I was gigantic back then. In high school, I weighed, the scale when I went to take my football physical went up to 350 pounds at the student health clinic, and I was over that, so I have no clue how much I weighed in high school. But the first time I ever lost a significant amount of weight and kept it off was when I did the Standard Process 21-day purification program. That 21 days, I lost 30 pounds in 21 days. That was pretty amazing. I could not believe it. It was just fantastic. 30 pounds in 21 days, and I kept it off for over 2 years. When I started to gain weight again after about 2 years, I did another purification program, and I lost 15 pounds that time, so I got back to where I was the previous time. And I've done about 4 of those 21-day purifications since that first one, and every time I lose between 10 and 15 pounds. The best part about that is I not only feel better every time, seasonally, when the pollen comes out in North Carolina, which is ridiculous, I don't have that pollen problem for about a year after I do one of those 21-day purification programs. Doing them, I've never been hungry doing them. You literally take so many pills that it's hard to be hungry when you're taking that many pills. And then you do smoothies, and you get to eat all the fruits and vegetables you want. And eventually you get to eat protein after about 10 days, but it's probably the best thing I could say to start on any sort of weight loss journey is the 21-day Standard Process Purification program. They have a new, from Standard Process, a 10-day detox. We did that in the fall when it came out, and I lost 7 pounds. I felt better. That one's better for if you need to lose a little bit of weight. The 21 days is definitely for anybody who needs to lose a significant amount of weight. Another thing I've started doing a few years ago was intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting, your body works best when you hold off from eating. So with intermittent fasting, you go 16 hours of no food and then 8 hours of eating, food whenever you need. So I go from 8 o'clock at night to noon the next day eating no food, and then from noon to 8 I get to eat, whatever I want, but I usually just eat lunch and dinner then. So I'm 100% cut out breakfast. Breakfast, I used to not be able to get up out of bed in the morning without eating breakfast. I thought I would die trying to do this intermittent fasting, but it helps balance out your body's hormones, especially your growth hormone and your, I can't think of the word, insulin. It balances out your growth hormone and your insulin. Those two hormones are very important in losing weight. Like I said, I didn't think I could live without food for 16 hours, but your body adapts. Just think of all your ancestors who only ate whenever they caught food, shot food, or picked food. Your body can live without eating too much food at one point in time. An everyday thing you need to do. So in January of this year, my wife and I did this new eating program, no sugar, and we had a very specific diet. And basically the diet boiled down to, you can eat protein anytime you want, but you cannot combine carbs and fats together. So you can eat protein with carbs, you can eat protein with fats, but you cannot eat, all of those together. If you do eat fat, you have to wait 3 hours before you can eat carbs. If you do eat carbs, you have to wait 3 hours before you can eat any sort of fat. So like carrots have a lot of sugar in them, so they would be considered a carb. Even though they're a vegetable, they still have a lot of sugar in them. Eating more fat is a good way to lose weight. Sugar makes you gain weight. Fat does not. I could go into a whole long list of things about sugar. Eating sugar is probably the number one worst thing you can do. The sugar industry knew in the 1960s that eating sugar increased heart disease. And because of that, they gave a lot of money to lobbying groups. And the lobbying group said, no, it's fat that causes you to have heart disease. It's not. Fat does not cause heart disease. Sugar causes heart disease. Even in China this last year, Coca-Cola came out or heavily influenced the government in China to tell people you just need to exercise to lose weight and to have a better body mass. It's not about exercise. Sugar intake is terrible. Coca-Cola paid the Chinese government to tell their people, you don't need to stop eating sugar. You don't need to change the way you eat. It's all about your diet. Exercise is good too. We'll get to exercise in a couple weeks. Don't worry. So my tip for this week: sugar is the most widely abused substance in the world, and especially in the U.S. In the U.S., we eat, each person, over 126 pounds of sugar per year. It gives us a momentary high, but it will eventually end up killing us. So my goal for you and my tip is to radically cut down on the amount of sugar you eat this week. This includes carbs. Carbs are sugar. So sugar, bad, bad, bad. Have a good week. Bye.